Hey there, I'm Anthony Romano, and I'm going to explain to you in this video whether or not you need fiber on a ketogenic diet. Short answer is no, you don't, but I'm going to explain to you what you have to do if you decide you don't want to have fiber on a keto diet, and also some other implications regarding the benefits of fiber or eliminating it. Okay, starting point though. Okay, remember this before I start the video. Remember this. Keto diet simply means you're not eating carbohydrates. Okay, it does not mean that you have to eat certain foods. It simply means that you have to eliminate one, sugar. So I've coached people who are vegetarians. I've coached people who are carnivorous with their diets. All that matters is that you're cutting out carbs, okay? So when people typically refer to keto, a lot of times they're referring to the low carb with fiber included, because otherwise they would have said zero carb or carnivore or some other variation. But the point is, when I say keto, what I mean is a ketogenic metabolism, which means you're not eating sugar, okay? And you're in the ketogenic state regardless of what you're eating, okay? I've been doing keto for 8 years, so I've done every kind of keto diet you can imagine. And all that really matters is that all the variants are under the subcategory of you're not eating carbs, okay? Or sugar, okay? Let's get into the video. Okay, so do you need fiber? Technically, you don't. I'm going to tell you what you have to do if you do decide to cut out fiber or change your fiber intake in some way. So here's the thing. There are uses for fiber on any diet, but in the case of keto, fiber can be very useful at blunting your appetite and helping you stick to more of a fat loss approach. So if you're doing keto for the purpose of fat loss, then fiber can absolutely be useful at keeping you full and filling up your stomach so that you eat less calories. Okay, this is why with some of my clients, when it comes to the end of a cutting period, I'll start incorporating more Chipotle bowls, more salads, higher emphasis on some of those fibrous greens so that they can consume less calories but still feel the sensation of being satiated in their stomach because of the fullness. So that's, a common tip you might hear, but let's get into the actual, health focus here. So if you cut out fiber, you absolutely need to increase your magnesium, which I'll get into, and you also may benefit by increasing some butyric acid. So basically eating some butter, some grass-fed butter, some real butter, not the Walmart BS, slab, okay? What I'm talking about, I'll explain those in a moment, okay? So let's go back to if you decide to cut out fiber. General tips: do not make a drastic change. Don't go from having a large amount of fiber to nothing, because you'll probably be backed up in your gut and you're gonna have bathroom problems with that, okay? So riffing off of that, with any diet, any dietary change, always start off with some sort of colon cleanse. That's a good idea. Now, this sounds so drastic. It's not like I'm telling you to do enemas or something. All you have to do is, before any diet where you're dropping calorie intake, a good idea is to have Metamucil. Have a tablespoon of Metamucil, or whatever the serving is. Have a serving of Metamucil 1 to 3 days in the beginning. Have it once a day, and that will basically clear out any food that's backed up in your colon, because I'm telling you, if you're somebody who has a lot of weight to lose, you do not want to go from 5,000 calories worth of food to the appetite suppressing effects of keto, where you're having 3,000 a day and you feel full, and all of a sudden you have so much extra food in your colon that you're like constipated or shit. Okay, you don't want to do this. I've seen it. You don't want this. Okay. So a good rule for any diet, especially one that makes you naturally more full, is start off with Metamucil psyllium husk cleanse. That's all you have to do. Literally, just have a tablespoon for the first 3 days of any diet. That's a good, practical tip I give to people. But the thing is, with a soluble fiber, or a mostly soluble fiber like psyllium husk, it's basically going to push food through your stomach. So for a lot of people, again, that can be useful in digestion and digestive regulation. So another good tip is, even if you're trying to make this little transition to less fiber or to try it out, one thing you should do is start using digestive enzymes. I talk about digestive enzymes because they have muscle building effects, because essentially they can help you to break down your food more effectively, get more protein usage basically out of the proteins you're consuming. And also, if you have a mix of macros in your gut environment, the pH is not going to be balanced, okay? Because if you're mixing protein and carbs, you're basically mixing an acidic environment with an alkaline environment, and it's going to be a problem. So digestive enzymes are very helpful, okay, in a lot of situations. So that's another tip to use if you're trying to transition to a different fiber intake or experiment with one. Now, let's get into the benefits of cutting out fiber completely. If you are cutting out fiber completely, oftentimes you'll feel some sort of benefit with digestion, okay? Because the foods you're eating are typically going to be more animal-based. So they're going to break down easily, and unless you're eating a lot of cooked food, your digestion should be very smooth, okay? Unless you're eating overly cooked food, you should be fine for a lot of digestion. However, you will need magnesium to actually soften the food in your gut after you've already ate it. And this is why, if you cut out fiber, you need to raise magnesium. So, in general, I recommend a magnesium supplement, and I have it listed in the description below. It's my favorite one, and there's multiple magnesium variations you could try, but I've recommended this one for so many people, and it's been beneficial that it's at the point where I've just included it in the description because it'll probably be the most balanced form for you to try just off of, averages, law of averages here. So it's a magnesium threonate complex, and it also has magnesium glycinate, which is very beneficial for muscles and essentially preventing cramps and things of that nature. Some other forms of magnesium are like citrate are far better for, gut softening, stool softening, essentially. So if you are somebody who's experiencing problems, magnesium citrate would probably be better for you in that case. However, getting a better daily total of magnesium is something we all need to do anyways, so just get the one I linked there anyways, well, if you're interested, because it also has mental benefits, because magnesium threonate can go to your brain better, magnesium glycinate is better for relaxing and recovering at a muscle, physical level. So essentially, it's a jack of all trades magnesium that I've listed below on Amazon. However, any magnesium can help you here, but if you're looking for a broad benefit here, the one I linked, if you're looking specifically for stomach and digestion relief, magnesium citrate is probably your best way to go. Now, butyric acid. Why did I mention butyric acid before? Butyric acid is a component of butter, but it's basically the preferred fuel of your colon, okay? And what your gut will do with a lot of fiber that you eat, a lot of fiber that you eat is going to be fermented, which basically means to rot in your stomach, and it's going to be converted into short-chain fatty acids. So, butyric acid is a very short-chain fatty acid, and it's the preferred fuel of your gut. And there are studies I've linked in other videos where essentially, especially my Bulletproof Coffee Will Make You Live Longer video. It's a great title, I know. Type it in. That video explains a lot of the benefits of butyric acid and basically how getting adequate amounts of butyric acid can help prevent colon cancer. It's one of the most highly correlated benefits of getting more butyric acid, and the best source is generally grass-fed butter or grass-fed ghee. So essentially, yellow butter, but it has to say grass-fed on there because when it's grass-fed, it's full of fat-soluble vitamins, and essentially the animals that produced it, besides the fact that they lived in better conditions, they weren't given soy, grains, GMOs, corn, okay? Other crops that are basically problematic for the animal themselves and you. There was no pesticide on their food. They weren't given injections, okay? No hormones, a lot of other things of that nature. So basically, get the grass-fed stuff. Don't make me explain it any more than I have to. And when we're looking at the importance of fiber, besides the fact that it's a useful tool for fat loss, besides the fact that you can use it to help you stay full, or maybe if you just like having fiber or greens or cruciferous vegetables, that is fine, enjoy. But if you ever have, some people have a lot of problems with sensitivities to foods. They have sensitivities to nightshade vegetables. They have sensitivities to other lectins or anti-nutrients in the actual vegetable. So plant and fiber sources of food can carry these things, and that's why some people, like the video I made with Jordan Peterson's zero carb diet, essentially some people need to fully remove all plant foods in order to experience extra anti-inflammatory benefit. Granted, keto's already pretty anti-inflammatory, and just in terms of the food supply we have today, you're going to be cutting out a lot of shit from your diet if you already go keto, regardless of whether or not you have vegetables or foods you're sensitive to. But if you need to take it that extra level, you can absolutely remove the fiber. But if you do, I highly recommend increasing your magnesium and getting a good source of butyric acid. This is another reason why Bulletproof Coffee on Keto is so popular. This is another reason why. You don't even really hear about the benefit in terms of digestion, but getting butyric acid as the first thing in your stomach in the morning is going to be amazing for your health. And that's another reason why I explained in the Bulletproof Coffee Will Make You Live Longer video that bulletproof coffee will make you live longer. So, essentially, as far as fiber is concerned, if I want to riff on another little interesting topic here, a lot of times people will talk about gorillas, or gorillas eat only fiber or plants or things of that nature. Again, granted, if you decide you want to eat more vegetables, go for it. I have keto vegetarians I work with all the time. But, example, when we're talking about a gorilla's digestive system, their stomach is not designed to thrive off of the plants themselves. It actually ferments them into short-chain fatty acids. Go figure, just like ours does, except their stomach is a lot better at it because they're basically our ancestor that didn't hunt as much as humans did. Okay, humans, our stomach has evolved to get fat, which is a calorically dense food source, okay? And basically it's going to use the 9 calories per gram of energy and basically distribute it to your body because it's so calorically dense. Fiber mainly passes through your gut, and essentially some of it will be fermented into short-chain fatty acids. However, for the most part, it's basically devoid of energy. It's devoid of calories because you're not able to digest it unless you're a ruminant animal with multiple stomachs and multiple digestion, shitting out and re-eating it again type of cycle. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. But for gorillas, for example, they ferment it into short-chain fatty acids because from there, their brain will use the fat, basically, from the short-chain fatty acids from the fermentation process. So that's why they can eat leaves and experience the benefit, because it's really fat that's fueling them, not fiber. And with humans, there's a reason why our stomach is the smallest relative to all other animals, and our brains are the largest, because we basically switched to eating the fat directly from the source, whether it was from hunting animals, whether it was from animal byproducts, whether it was from some fermentation of plant foods in the stomach. The point is, our stomach is the smallest and our brain is the biggest, and there's a relationship there, because basically we started eating more calorically dense foods that required less digestive effort and bigger payoff for the brain benefits, for the recovery benefits to your body and your mind, because you literally would be getting more energy in addition to higher nutrient content, because fats contain vitamins. These are the fat-soluble vitamins. They're some of them are the most chronically underdosed vitamins we need today: vitamin D, vitamin A, E, and K. And essentially, they're some of the most important vitamins in your body, and you can only get them from fat. So essentially, that's another way where it's a double whammy effect, where human evolution over time basically was conducive to our choices. And if you're looking at our closest ancestor genetically, gorillas just simply hunted less, it seems, right? Or they ate more plant foods and developed the digestive system to ferment them into fats for the brain, and of course other parts of the body. But you get the point, okay? So that is a little historical context there. But as far as fiber on keto goes, okay, it is not essential, but a lot of people find they like a good balance. So find your own balance, experiment with different fiber intakes. You're not going to die because you eliminated fiber, okay? It's, in fact, a lot of people notice benefits from this. So I'd highly recommend you look into it. But if you are going to look into it, understand your purpose of a keto diet, or any diet for that matter, and essentially from there, if it's fat loss, then you obviously know some of the other ways to fit this in. If it's lifestyle and health and nutrition, then of course you want to incorporate magnesium, absolutely, in order to soften the stool in your stomach, and also butyric acid for the health of your colon. This is the most practical way to implement these changes, amongst other things that I could riff off of here. There are lots of beneficial gut benefits that you can get from fiber, okay? Prebiotics, so essentially the oligosaccharides, the little starches that can be fed to your gut bacteria, they are beneficial to the flourishing, probiotic bacteria that you want in your gut, okay? So this is another area where fiber can be useful, but here's the deal. If you simply switch and have a balanced, if you have a balanced lifestyle and switch in and out of ketosis, you are going to get all the benefits that fiber would have offered to you. So unless you're somebody who's just intent on doing keto 100% of the time, which I've done for certain years, over 8 years of keto dieting, essentially, if you're not switching out ever, then that's a time where you should reincorporate fiber and prebiotic gut bacteria food. Okay, that's another time. However, if you simply switch in and out of ketosis, you'll be getting enough diversity for your gut. You'll basically be exposing your gut bacteria to different strains, and also different foods for those strains. So essentially you'll be achieving a good balance that way. So the thing is, you don't need fiber. And if you live a balanced lifestyle where you occasionally eat carbs here and there, and bounce in and out to keep that metabolic flexibility high, to keep that gut biodiversity high, then you will not need fiber while you're, in the ketogenic state. Okay? And from there, it can basically be your choice. You can incorporate it as much as you like. If you're somebody who likes having big burrito bowls or somebody who likes eating lots of vegetables, you can do that too. But when somebody refers to keto, it doesn't exclude the fact that it could be a zero carb keto diet. Okay? So you don't have to have fiber. If you do decide to cut it out, raise your magnesium, try to get some butyric acid in there, and keep the lifestyle balanced. Okay? Every now and then swap out of ketosis, but you don't even need to do that. And if you decide not to, just have some fiber here and there. Okay, that's it for this video. My name is Anthony Romano. Leave me some questions, subscribe to me, and follow my Instagram. Peace. On top of this, very soon, Keto Pro Start, my keto starter guide, the ultimate, practical application, actionable starter guide is going to be out. It's probably not out at the time of this video. However, it is in the process, and when that is out, it will give you plenty of other tips and actionable steps, kind of like this video here, where essentially I tell you how to balance a keto diet no matter what your purpose is. That is the purpose of my starter guide. It's not necessarily only fat loss. It's not necessarily only for brain function or for athletic performance. It is a combo of how to balance any keto diet, and basically it's giving you the tools so that once you know what your purpose is, you can basically look at this guide and say, hey, I'm looking more for fat loss. How can I balance my macro intake? Or I'm looking more for lifestyle. How can I make it more approachable for, social settings? Things like that. That is 1,000% what Keto Pro Start is about. So I highly encourage you to look into that once it comes around, once I release it. So basically stay tuned for that, and don't forget about it is the point, because it will make your dieting a lot easier. And basically it makes it so that everything is second nature to you, so that you always know if you're in a dynamic situation, how can I perfect my keto diet here? How can I make it so that when I go out, I have a good balance, or how to approach a social environment, whatever. Things of that nature. So that is it for this video. Thank you for watching. Like it, subscribe to me right now, and follow my Instagram. Once again, I'm Anthony Romano. Peace.